What's up, guys? Welcome to, this little beginner's guide I'm be doing, man. This is for all new players. So if you're a new player, man, welcome to the channel. I'm 218s, bro. I play a little bit of Marvel Snap, man. I hit Infinite twice. I play the game a little bit, but yeah, I just really want to show anybody who's new to the game or kind of, struggling to get a grasp of it. Just three basic decks that you can make as somebody in pool one, right? So pool one, when you very first start the game, that's the I guess I would say that's the rank you're at, right? So pool one is from collection level, let's just call it collection level 1 to collection level 214. So every time you upgrade a card in the game, your collection level goes up. And as you go higher, you unlock new cards. All right, but so since this is a beginner oriented video, we're just going to be focusing on 3 pool 1 decks that you can make. I'm gonna just talk about what I do when I like to build teams, and hopefully you guys can learn from me, kind of learn from my thought processes. Just gonna make like I said, just 3 basic decks, and yeah, hope this helps y'all. So if y'all new to the game, man, like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, just listen, bro, just listen. But yeah, so as you all know, or maybe you don't know, there's really 3 different types of cards in this game, right? So there's on reveal cards, there's ongoing cards, and then there's cards with just text abilities, but they're not necessarily a on reveal or ongoing card. So for example, we got right here America Chavez starts at the bottom of your deck, but she doesn't necessarily have an on reveal or an ongoing attached to her ability, like for example Heimdall has, or Odin or Onslaught, right? So when you're building a deck, what you want to focus on is the cohesiveness of your card's abilities, right? And so if we look at Odin's, right, it says activate the on reveal abilities for your other cards at this location. He's obviously going to work well with other on reveal cards, right? So as a beginner, I think it's important to one, understand what the strongest cards are, and see how you can build around those cards. So for example, look at any of the 6 cost cards, or even some of the 5 cost cards are pretty strong, and try to build a team around those cards, right? So we're gonna be building a team around Odin. I usually like to start off with 1 card and then try to figure out how I can build around it, right? So I know 1 card that works really great with Odin is White Tiger, for example. So we know her on reveal ability, as is written here, is add a 7-power White Tiger to another location. So if you play White Tiger turn 5, you play Odin turn 6, you're gonna activate her White Tiger again. So you add in another 7-power Tiger. So you really got 14 power out of White Tiger, or really 15 because the extra 1 when you run her alongside Odin, right? So yeah, that's just just 1 card that I know off tops that really works great with Odin. Another card is Ironheart. Her on reveal, give 3 other cards plus 2 power. So yeah, man, Odin's just gonna double that the same way he doubled White Tiger if you played them at the same spot. Let's see if we can find another card that's gonna work really well. I know that, let's find Medusa. So if you play her at the middle, you get plus 3. You play Odin behind her, that's really plus 6, right? So she's essentially turning from a 2 cost card to a 2 power 2 cost 2 8 power card, right? So we already got 4 cards, man. So yeah, let's just keep looking for more on reveal cards, and then once we kind of run out, we could kind of deviate from just focusing on reveal abilities, right? So another 2 I'm gonna do are Rocket Raccoon and Star Lord, right? So we know their abilities. If your opponent plays at the same location, they get a little power boost, right? And sometimes, when it's the last turn, you might lose the location, meaning that your opponent's gonna have more points than you at the spot. So this is really good to play Odin behind Rocket Raccoon and Star-Lord, because you're gonna be able to activate their abilities again, meaning that on the last turn, which is usually turn 6, right? If you play Odin behind them and then your opponent plays at the same spot, they're gonna get another boost, man. So yeah, we already got half a deck filled up. I might as well throw in Gamora and Groot, right? Just 2 more Guardians cards with the same abilities, man. Y'all get the picture. And so what's that? We already have 8 cards, so we really only have room for 2 more. And also keep in mind, you want to try to run a variety of cost cards, right? So we have 1 cost card, we have 2 cost cards, we have 2 3 cost cards, right? That allows you to be able to play something at every turn, right? That's another thing. You can't win the game, right? Just running the 6 strongest cards, because you're not gonna be able to play them, right? You're not gonna be able to play them because they cost 6. So you also want to keep in mind, how much things cost when you're building a deck. You kind of want to try to, I think a thing for beginners to do is, since there's 12 cards you can use in a deck, is kind of try to stay around 2 of each cost, right? So let's look for another 1 cost card that we could potentially use on this team. So, and let's see if any of them can benefit from being played alongside Odin. So these are all the 1 cost cards we have right here, from Yondu to Angel. Just glancing at them, none of them are really going to benefit, or none of them you can really benefit by using them alongside Odin. I guess technically Squirrel Girl, if you don't have your other locations filled up, because she says add a 1 power squirrel. So if you play Odin last turn, you can get 2 extra power at each spot. But I'm not really sure I like Squirrel Girl. But let's just put it for an example, right? So yeah, man, you can use any of the other 1 cost cards. Let's just put her for example. So yeah, we got Squirrel Girl and Rocket Raccoon. Those are gonna be our 2 1 cost cards. We already got 2 2 cost cards. We already had 2 3. So let's try to end the deck off with 2 4 costs. Right. So let's look for the 4 costs, and let's see if what we can add to the team that will help either with Odin or help some of our other cards. So I just added Squirrel Girl, right? So I think a good card that we might want to use on this team is Ka-Zar. So for example, Ka-Zar's ability is your 1 cost cards have +1 power. So if you're able to put down Squirrel Girl and then Ka-Zar, you're essentially giving your Squirrel Girl, which costs 6 power, because you have 3 squirrels, which is 3 1 cost cards. You have Ka-Zar, and then if you play Odin alongside Squirrel Girl at the end, you're gonna get 2 more squirrels that have 2 power. So you really have what? Squirrel Girl plus the 2 squirrels she put out plus the 2 at the end. So you have 5. That's 10 power. You got to try to find a cohesion between all of your cards, right? And then so we have Ka-Zar, and then let's try to find 1 more 4 cost card. Let's go ahead and put Enchantress, right? And so the reason I think Enchantress might be pretty good on this team is because since our deck is based upon on reveal teams, which is just one archetype or one archetype of card. We do have Kazar, which is an ongoing card, but we might want to be able to counter somebody who we're playing against who is using more so of an ongoing deck, and we're gonna make the ongoing deck next. But if we're able to play Enchantress, we're gonna be able to stop cards. We're gonna be able to stop cards like Onslaught, which is pretty much the ongoing version of Odin. We're gonna be able to stop, Blue Marvel. We're gonna be able to stop Devil Dinosaur, Iron Man, things like that, right? So we have 2/1 cost, 2/2 cost, 2/3 cost, 2/4, 2/5. We have 1/6. So you can really use any other cards you want. I'm just gonna put America Chavez as our last card for this deck, and her ability starts at the bottom of your deck. Draw this on turn 6. So what this means is, you're gonna be able to play your on reveal strategy. You're gonna be able to play your on reveal strategy and not have to worry about America Chavez being in your hand, because she's gonna come out on the last turn. This can be bad, but because you might want to pull Odin on the last turn if you haven't pulled him at that point. But America Chavez is also a really good card because she allows for something called deck thinning, which essentially allows you to know that you're really playing a deck of 11 cards rather than 12, because she's gonna be coming out last, if that makes sense to y'all. So yeah, man, this is just a really basic on reveal team. I would say one thing that you do have to be careful of if you were playing a team like this is to not play your Enchantress at the same location that you're playing your Kazar, because what she's gonna do, like she says, remove the abilities from all ongoing cards at this location. And as we can see, Kazar has an ongoing ability. So yeah, man, you really want to be careful, but at the same time, this is just a very basic deck. I'm not gonna, try to throw terminology at you guys like kazoo decks and stuff like that. Just a really basic on reveal team. As y'all can see, it has a lot of cohesion. Every card kind of works pretty well with each other. And yeah, man, just really basic deck. Before we get into next deck, if you didn't want to run Enchantress though, I would say a great alternative to her would be Wolfsbane, right? So his on reveal, or her, I think Wolfsbane is a girl, I'm not sure, but their on reveal ability is +2 when you play Wolfsbane, +2 for each other card you have here. So yeah, and I actually think this will work better than running Enchantress, even though you might want to counter the ongoing abilities. And the reason for that is, you look at Squirrel Girl, Kazar, or you really look at Squirrel Girl and White Tiger, right? Cards that fill up the board, they fill up other locations. They work really, really great with Wolfsbane because, the more cards you have at a spot, once you play Wolfsbane, the stronger they become. So yeah, man, this is gonna be our basic on reveal team. So I hope this helps you guys out. And let's go ahead and get to the next ongoing. So like I was saying, man, Onslaught, basically you want to think of him as the ongoing version of Odin, right? So I have Onslaught and Spectrum to start this ability. To start this deck. And Spectrum ability +2 gives +2 power to all of your other ongoing cards. So the same way how we did with Odin, let's try to build a more ongoing deck, cards that can work around or can benefit from Onslaught's ability, right? So one I know off the top of my head, Blue Marvel. His ability gives all your other cards +1 power. Once you play Blue Marvel or Onslaught behind Blue Marvel, his ability becomes give your other cards +2 power. So yeah, man, y'all can kind of see where I'm going with this. Let's add Kazar to this one as well, because Kazar is just a really good card at this stage in the game. Your 1-cost cards have +1 power. Once you play him or play Onslaught behind him, his becomes +2. So let's say you get both of these at the same spot, man, you're gonna be building a lot of power. You're gonna be building, a lot of power, with that combination, right? And then let's add Cosmo. So Cosmo's ability is arm reveal abilities won't happen at this location. And that's really good, right? Because I was just talking about Enchantress in the first deck we built, right? How you, sometimes when you're running a certain, sometimes when you're running a certain archetype, you need to be able to counter what the other person is trying to do, or sometimes prevent them from countering what you're trying to do, right? So let's say you had Cosmo down and you played Kazar behind Cosmo, and you played Blue Marvel behind Cosmo. They wouldn't be able to Enchantress your Kazar and Blue Marvel because you're protecting them with Cosmo's ongoing ability. On top of that, Cosmo also benefits, right? She also benefits from Spectrum if you play Spectrum at another spot, because Spectrum's gonna give her +2 power. So yeah, man, this is just kind of a way you gotta think of it, man. Just really take time to read and learn the abilities and figure out, what cards really work great with each other. Another one, Mr. Fantastic, man, benefits from both Spectrum and Onslaught, right? Just especially if you play him at the middle, that could potentially become +4 to each side, because his ability is gonna be doubled from Onslaught, or it can become +2 at each side. And if you don't pull Onslaught and you get Spectrum, you still get that 4 power in the middle, because Spectrum's gonna give Mr. Fantastic that +2, right? So yeah, man, let's try to end this off, end this deck off, just find a couple more cards. So we got 2 6 costs, 1 5, we got 1 4, 2 3s. Let's just put 2 2s really quick. Let's put see who we want to put. Let's put Colossus and Armor. Just 2 more ongoing cards, right? Both benefit from Spectrum. They don't really do anything with Onslaught per se, but what they can do for you is, I'm going to show you guys. So since we have Kazar, let's try to find some 1-cost cards. I just put down Squirrel Girl on the other team, so I mean, you can most certainly add her to this team, and she will really work great, just for the reason I explained earlier. But what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna put for the example, I'm gonna put Ant-Man down, and then let's just put down just another 1 cost. Let's just put down Nightcrawler, just for an example, right? So Ant-Man, we know he has an ongoing ability, which is going to be doubled by Onslaught. He's a 1-cost card, so it's going to be boosted by Kazar, right? So the thing about Ant-Man is, since he's a 1-cost card, he can be destroyed by Elektra, right? So she destroys other 1-cost cards. So if we have potential to get a really strong Ant-Man, you might want to play Armor alongside Ant-Man to prevent him from getting destroyed by Elektra. You get what I'm trying to say, man? So yeah, like I'm saying, when you're building decks, cohesion is the number one thing that you want to consider, right? It's the number one thing that you want to take into account when you're making a team. So let's see how many. So we have 2 1s, 2 2s, 2 3s, 1 4, 1 5, 2 6s. Let's look for another 4 cost. So right here we have Namor. +5 is your only card here. So what you can do, right? So the way how Namor fits in, obviously he fits great with Spectrum. You can't necessarily play him at the same lane as Onslaught, but he works great with Spectrum if you play her somewhere else, and Mr. Fantastic. If you play him either on the left or right, you're going to get a very strong location with Namor, because he's going to be 11 plus the 2 that Mr. Fantastic is going to give him. So yeah, man, we got 2 4s, pretty much trying to get 2 of each. Let's look for a 5-cost card that we think can work great, and I think Claw is really going to work great with this team. Another ongoing card, +6 to the location at the right, and once you play Onslaught with Claw, that's going to be +12 on the right spot, right? So let's say you got Namor on the left, and you play Claw in the middle, you play Onslaught in the middle, right? You have points everywhere, so it's really hard for your opponent to play around that, right? And yeah, man, so this is just a basic ongoing team that you can run. Like I said, man, you can experiment with all of the other cards, but yeah, man, I hope you guys are understanding, just based how I'm explaining that cohesion, building cards that kind of have abilities that benefit each other is probably the most important thing that you want to do, or one of the most important skill you want to learn to develop as somebody who's just new to the game, fresh to the game. And so this last deck that we're gonna make, Devil Dinosaur deck, this is gonna be kind of more of a hybrid deck, right? So now that we understand on reveal abilities, how we understand ongoing abilities, we can kind of run a deck that kind of uses both of those, to all work towards, one goal. So Devil Dinosaur, +2 power for each card in your hand. So off top, you guys should already know that Devil Dinosaur should always be used with Moon Girl. If Devil Dinosaur has +2 card for each card in your hand, and you use Moon Girl to duplicate your hand, you're boosting your Devil Dinosaur. And Devil Dinosaur is an ongoing card. Moon Girl is an on-reveal card. See what I'm trying to say? Let's look for another card that we think might work great with Devil Dinosaur. And I'm gonna do my best to only use different cards. Obviously, you can reuse cards in each deck, like I did with Khazar, but just for the sake of the example, right? I was looking for another card that's gonna work great with Devil Dinosaur. I think one off the top of my head is gonna be Jessica Jones. The reason why I say that is, let's say you play Jessica Jones turn 4. You either play Devil Dinosaur at another spot, or you just don't play turn 5. Not only are you going to boost your Jessica Jones, but you're keeping one more card in your deck. Excuse me. You're keeping one more card in your deck to keep your Devil Dinosaur, or to allow your Devil Dinosaur to have that, that +2 power, right? So that might be another card that works pretty great with Devil Dinosaur. Another one's going to be White Queen. Copy the highest card in your opponent's hand into your hand. So you're basically you're not taking, but you're copying it, right? So it's just adding another card to your hand. On reveal ability is going to be boosting this ongoing card, right? Just giving your Devil Dinosaur the potential to have +2 more power, right? Let's look for a couple more. Off the top of my head, Sentinel. Add another Sentinel to your hand, man. You added another card. You're boosting your Devil Dinosaur. You guys can see what I'm getting at, right? Cable. Put the bottom card of your opponent's deck into your hand. Taking their card, putting it into your hand. You see what I'm saying, man? It's really simple, bro. You guys really just gotta read. You gotta read and think about which cards work great with each other. Let's look for a 1-cost card, man. If your opponent plays a card here this turn, draw a card from their deck, right? So let's say you're on turn 6 and you got these 2. So you might put down 2 cards, which kind of weakens your Devil Dinosaur. But if they play their other card at the same spot you play your Mantis, you're getting that +2 back, right? So yeah, man, it's real simple, bro. Real simple. Let's just find 2 more cards for the sake of the example. Let's just go ahead and put Electra. We haven't used her yet. We know what she does. Destroys another of the opponent's 1-cost cards. Let's go ahead and put Mr. Sinister. And an interesting way that he works pretty good with Devil Dinosaur is, since he's added another clone to the spot, it just prevents you from having to play so many cards at one location if Mr. Sinister produces 2 cards. So you're not emptying your hand out, trying to fill up the location, trying to get points. And that's just one way how he might work great with Devil Dinosaur, right? So we got 3 more cards left. So we got 2 1s, 2 2. We got 3 2s, 3 4s. So this one, like I said, since it's kind of a hybrid, it's kind of gonna be, not following the rules to a T that we established earlier, right? So let's look for some 3 cost cards that we might want to use. Let's see here. We can do. Let's just do Captain America, and then let's do. Or let's do Lady Sif, but we don't want to use her on Lady Sif, right? And the reason why, or on this team, right? And the reason why is she's discarding a card from your hand. So if she's removing cards from your hand, you probably don't want to put Lady Sif on the same team as Devil Dinosaur because she's going to weaken him, right? So, just something to consider, bruh. Some cards just work great with each other, other cards don't. So like Moon Girl, even though she might be weaker than Lady Sif, she works better with Devil Dinosaur because she allows you to boost him, right? So you kind of don't want to always just pay attention to the power. You really want to read the abilities, focus in on the abilities, and learn which cards work best. So I'm just gonna add Hulkbuster and Morph to the end. And yeah, man, this would just be an early example of a Devil Dinosaur deck that you could potentially use, when you're in Pool 1, Series 1, right? So yeah, man, we just got 3 basic teams for y'all, man. Hope y'all are able to learn something. Give these teams a try if you're a beginner, bro. Give these teams a try. Feel free to make any adjustments that you want to make. And yeah, man, I hope y'all are able to learn. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subs. Let me know if y'all want any more guides, because I feel like I could do some more guides, bro, for Pool 2, Pool 3, and just talking about some of the advanced meta decks with the Pool 4 and Pool 5 cards. But yeah, man, I hope y'all enjoy, and I'll catch y'all next time.